Well, welcome in, everybody. Welcome into the December AMA here, our last Ask Me Anything of 2024 here, both on YouTube and for Web Designer Pro members, gave you an option to submit some questions early. So we'll get to some of the recurring themes there, but it is really good to see everybody. I'm going to hop over to YouTube real quick and jump in the chat. So if you would, as we get this kicked off, we're going to have some fun today. Jump in the chat. Say where you're joining us from. I'd love to hear where you guys are at in the world right now. This is kind of an impromptu one, so I expect a smaller group here today, but that's all good. I wanted to take some time to end of 2024 here. I can't believe it's Christmas next week. Can anybody else not believe that it's Christmas next week? So this is kind of my last week. I will be taking off most of next week. So wanted to end off in a good way here and talk some shop with you. We can talk web design. We can talk business. We can talk trends. We can talk Christmas movies. Derek's already on it, but I'd love to do all that for you. Welcome in, Derek. Good to see you. Cindy from the UK. Great to see you, Cindy. And Derek wants to know the age-old question, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Here's my thoughts on that, because I don't have like one strong opinion one way or the other. I think it depends on whether a Christmas movie, the definition of a Christmas movie, I guess, is what we need to identify. Like, is a Christmas movie a movie that is about Christmas, or is it a Christmas movie a movie that happens in and around Christmas or during Christmas? My wife's, one of her favorite movies is The Holiday, and you might say that's a Christmas movie, but they actually don't show Christmas in The Holiday. There's Christmas activities, but there is not a Christmas. So I guess if Die Hard is a Christmas movie, then The Holiday is a Christmas movie because it's all around Christmas. However, if Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, then I would have to say are other movies that don't have Christmas as the focal point not a Christmas movie? Again, I don't know if there can be a solid answer, but that's my perspective on it. Good to see everybody. Yes, I showed up in my Christmas sweater this year. Those of you who know my Star Wars fandom, original trilogy fandom, a lot of people say go to your happy place. I don't know what your guys' happy place is. My happy place is the Battle of Hoth from The Empire Strikes Back, so I don't know what that says about me, but I was thrilled to see this. I mean, the ad got me. I saw this ad and I was like, whoa, take my money. Are you kidding me? So good to see everybody here. Cindy, welcome in. Derek, Mike, good to see you. Mike is a member of Web Designer Pro. And Mike, I will be sending you today your award because we had a Christmas hangout yesterday of Web Designer Pro coaching members, and we did most festive. And if you think I look festive, you should have seen Mike yesterday. Holy cow. Mike showed up. Actually, let's look real quick before we dive into this Q&A here. Let me head over. I'm going to show you off, Mike, real quick. I'm going to show Mike off here because he killed it yesterday. Hold on a sec. I got to get my screen sharing working right here. Nope, not grab application. Mike absolutely killed this yesterday in our Christmas hangout for Web Designer Pro. If we go down here, Mike did win our most festive. And for those who don't know, my community Web Designer Pro, for the coaching tier, we do an annual Christmas party and talk shop. Mike won big time there. So look at that. Way to go, Mike. Festive. He had it all going. I don't know what you're dressed like today, man, but he blew us out of the water. And shout out to Megan who got runner-up for her Vader Star Wars sweater and her light-up hat. So had some fun yesterday in Web Designer Pro. But right now, I want to turn the focus over to you and answer any questions that you guys have that you would like to address with me here. So let's talk some shop, friends. I want to hear what questions you have about web design, trends, and if you just joined us, welcome in. I'd love to hear where you're joining us from. Lynn and Neil, is that right? Lynn from Newfoundland. Welcome in. I finally learned how to say that. I have a colleague in Newfoundland who said it's not Newfoundland. I don't know. Is it a tomato? Not sure. Home Alone could count as a Christmas movie. Yes, absolutely. I think that one has to because it's on Christmas Day. Jeremy A., good to see you. Josh, Dr. Dunn's in the house. Good to see you guys. All right, guys. Well, hit me. I want to hear what's on your mind as we wrap up 2024. If we want some prompts to start talking some shop here, I'll ask you if you would like to rate 2024 from 1 to 10. 1 being it was an abysmal year. Josh, I need help. And if it was 10, like I should be running a web design coaching business, I'd love to hear from you. Where you're at for 2024. And we're all friends here. This is, there is no judgment. If you had a crap year, let's talk about some tips to make 2025 better. I'd love to hear from you on a scale of 1 to 10. How was your year? How was 24? By the way, the metrics could be revenue, but it could also be time. It could be personal. It could be your calendar. Whatever metric works for you. I'd love to hear how 2024 was for you. Jared's in the house from Utah. And then good point, Lynn. So it rhymes with understand. Newfoundland. Is that right? Newfoundland. All right. Wow. Derek Short goes to 11. I hope that's true, Derek. That's amazing to hear if that's the case. Does Santa use WordPress for his website? Does he have a website? I don't know. I don't know what Santa would use for his website. He would probably do Shopify and do some sort of drop shipping thing so he didn't have to get out so much. That'd be my guess. Hey, Mark. Good to see you in the house. Lee Blue's in the house, too. Wow, my gosh. What a panel. We should have made this a web designer roundtable with you guys. Awesome, Mark. Good to hear. Solid year overall. Josh says it was an 8. Awesome, Josh. I know. Really, really glad to hear that for you. Josh is a member of Web Designer Pro, and man, it's been cool. Josh went full-time this year, so round of applause, first of all, to Josh for going full-time. Freaking heck yeah, dude. All right, Jeremy A is a 7. Great to hear, Jeremy. I think last year I remember us talking about that, and I think you were maybe half of that, so good to hear that. That's going in the positive, up to the right direction. Lynn says, that's right. Awesome. Had a great year, says Lynn. I put out a record and did a fair amount of touring. That is a great year. As a fellow musician in a previous life, I say touche, and I'm a little jealous, Lynn. I want to hear more about that. Awesome. Awesome. Chantel, welcome in. Q1 and Q2 was shit for personal and work. Tell me how you really feel, Chantel. I took the summer off, quote unquote, and rested, and then got into blogging, SEO, but most importantly, online directories. Interesting. Booked out for Q3 and Q4. There's a lot of things that Chantel said that were really interesting right there. Number one, sometimes if personal life and other things hit, it takes a toll on your business. Not understandably so, especially if you're selling or if you're doing a lot of one-off projects. But what I love to hear about, Chantel, what you did is you got into blogging, so you're creating content, you took a focus on SEO, and then whether you had a niche or whether you had a special offer, you dove into online directories, and it sounds like all those things combined, clear offer, whether it's a niche or whatever that looked like for you, all those things combined, created some content, got proactive about marketing. Love to hear that all worked out for you. That's actually, there's a lot of sage wisdom in those 3 things you did there. Content, SEO, authority building, trust, and an offer, a specialized offer. Heck yeah. Alexia is in the house. Good to see you, Alexia. Another member of Pro. Mike had a 7 overall, 9 for revenue, 5 for a bunch of exhausting stuff that happened throughout. I appreciate the honesty on that, Mike, which is a good point. That is a fair way to judge a year, I feel like, is to look at revenue and look at probably like, I guess you could call it energy, you could call it sustainability. Look at those 2 things and meet in the middle. So, I mean, it's honestly, it's so cliche, but it is true. There's like revenue and balance and sustainability on the others. So it's like a teeter-totter. A lot of times when your numbers are going up, you're hustling and you're working your ass off. Whereas sometimes if things are nice and sustainable and chill, your numbers are going down. So those things do tend to teeter-totter. I would love to sit here and tell you that you can just absolutely have all the numbers go up and to the right all the time and be super chill all the time. But I've yet to know of an entrepreneur who has cracked that code. Although as you know, probably I'm all about seasonal works of hustle and kind of balancing it out. Like I know, like this month was kind of a bit of a chiller month for me and my family. January is go time. So kind of chilling this month, not doing any big marketing pushes or anything. January, watch out, friends, in a good way. So great point, Mike, on that one. Erica says it's a 5, realizing, by the way, side note, Mike, I'll talk with you about that. Maybe we can come up with some ideas to get less exhausting stuff, but keep the numbers going up too. Got some ideas. Erica says it's a 5 for me. I'm realizing that I'm doing too much and making changes this year. I own a salon, work as a web designer and SEO for a company, and need more time to scale my freelance. Well, Erica, yeah, that makes total sense. If you're essentially running 2 different businesses, you have 50% to give to each business. And if you're working over, then that's recipe for burnout. For you, Erica, I'm not sure if you've been through this, but I do have a free scaling masterclass. I'll put the link in here for you guys. Highly recommend checking this out. It actually has some of my top tips from my Scale Your Way course, which is now inside of Web Designer Pro for anyone who wants to get access to that in all my courses. But that link right there will take you over there. Oops, I forgot to add the S in the URL. But go to joshhall.co/scale, and that will zip you over to a free masterclass I have for you. It's completely free. It's a training with some tips to help you scale. But yeah, I would personally work at, you kind of have to get to a decision on what do you want to do. Do you want to own the hair salon, or how serious do you want to get the web design business and SEO off the ground? One thing you can do, if you strictly need the salon business for stability and revenue, one thing you can do is cipher out what you're doing in both the web design business and SEO. So for example, if there is one thing I'll teach you in that scaling masterclass is to do a task inventory, which could be as simple as day to day, just jot down the things you're doing. And then off of those things you're doing, look back at it after a week and look at what items were energizing and got you in the flow state and that you love doing that didn't feel like work. And what items were like, dear God, I never want to do this again. Those are the items you got to start chipping away. That's going to help get your time back. It's going to help get your energy back, your mental bandwidth. So I would start there, because that's going to help you decide, what do you want to delegate? What can you automate with systems and Zapier or whatever else you want to use? And what do you just want to drop completely, which leaves more room for energy and profit, both in the salon and as your web designer role. So a couple tips there that I hope get you started, Erica, but definitely want to help you get through there. What do I want for Derek? What I want for Christmas, Derek? I think we talked about this on the last session. I need a new chair. I still have a broken arm on this part. So yeah, I'm not a man of want or need this year. So maybe 36 hours in the day. That would be nice. Can we switch to that somehow? Because I feel like 24 is just not cutting it with having 3 kids under 6 and everything that's going on. And I have so much I want to do, but there's just not enough time right now. Not even stressful, like in the way of I can't get it done. It's just like, I have so much I want to do. I want to do this. I want to do that. So the challenge is being an entrepreneur. Good to see Reveal Web Works in Portland. 9 for revenue, 7 for work-life balance. All right, let's work on, I'm even okay with 2025 being an 8 for revenue and an 8 for work-life balance if we can chip away. Although 7's pretty good. If you're feeling like you're at a 7 with work-life balance, it's pretty awesome. Lot of good chat here. What did I buy for my family members for Christmas? Just took the girls to the Nutcracker. Got really good seats for that. It was awesome. My little guy is not welcome at a theater because he is a wild monkey man. He is literally Curious George. He's 2 years old, and we can't even take him out. So take him out to breakfast. So yeah, we took the girls and we had a blast. So that was our main big Christmas gift. Lots of little Christmas gifts. Reveal Webworks wants to know, what does AMA means? It means Ask Me Anything. AMA, Q&A. I don't know what industry standard is. This could be Q&A too, but I don't know. You guys tell me. Maybe I'll change it back to Q&A if that's understood by folks who maybe aren't in this world as much. But cool. Awesome, Erica. Let me know that helps you out. All right, Jared, I want to know, it's been a busy year. Started looking at the courses, can finally see a light at the end of the tunnel by getting SOP solidified and simplified. Still working on it though. All right, well, I do have something to help. As I mentioned in the description here, I promised I would have a gift for you guys. So I'll give it to you now. It's a free gift, and it is my web design process checklist for Christmas for free for you. So it's in the chat right now. Let's take a look at it real quick. So to help you, Jared, and any others who want some help with this, head over to my web design process checklist. It's in the chat for you. And essentially, now I have a whole course on this. I have my web design process course, which dives into this in depth. But this is at least the checklist. So you can at least have a good idea to follow. This is based off of WordPress, although even if you're not a WordPress user, I have a ton of students now who don't even use WordPress. They still use this and just customize it if you're using Wix Studio or Showit or Squarespace or any other platform you're using. So you can still take this and make it your own. But here's your checklist. It is my 5-phase, 50-step web design process. This is literally what I refined over a decade into. Like, it took me a decade to come up with this process. So just by being here with me guys live right now, you can nab this up for free during Christmas. So go over. It says buy now. You don't buy it. It's free. So there's no coupon code or anything. You just download that, and there is a plain text file version, or there's a step-by-step numbered checklist. You can keep this on your computer. You can copy and paste this into your project management for you or your team. You can print this out, get it posted above your fireplace as a mantle. Listen, I don't care what you do. I want you to have a better web design process. So there is gift number 1. And I have a second gift for those who want more. And that is my guide to getting clients. Now, if you didn't know, what this is actually an entire module from my business course. So for those who have my business course, or if you're in Web Designer Pro, you already have this. It's the entire module on getting clients. But I made this available as kind of a mini course just to help folks get going with getting clients. And as a Christmas special, if you would like this and you don't have access to this or my business course yet, I've got a Christmas special right now for $27. You can get my entire module on my guide to getting clients. There's 6 lessons, and some might say you could charge like $1,000 for all these lessons, but I definitely want to help you get some clients. So that's available for my second Christmas gift for you with a huge discount if interested. I will put this link in the show notes for you as well, or in the description. All right, and let me get back to your questions. So guide to getting web design clients. Those are all in the description, by the way, too. So if you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, that's available for you. All right, let's zip through some questions because they are coming in fast and furious. So yeah, Jared, let me know how that helps with your SOPs. My business course has more in onboarding, project management, offboarding, all those good things. So we can talk about that. Enlightenworks in the house. Good to see a former pro member, longtime listener. 2014 was 10 plus. Way to go. I can only imagine that's because of Web Designer Pro. 40% increase from 2024. That's wonderful to hear. For revenue and growth, have to thank you for your content over the years for contributing to the success. Thank you so much for sharing that. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I really appreciate that. And I'm so pumped that you had a killer 10 plus year. That's amazing. So hope to see you back in pro whenever the time is right, especially if you want to do the coaching level, because we can make that, as Derek said, let's make that go up to 11. You're already at 10 plus. Let's go to 11 when you're ready. Justin's in the house under WebLogic. What courses do you think you might add in the future? I recall you mentioning one, but I can't remember. Do you have future course ideas? The current courses are fab, so not complaining one bit. Yeah, the tricky thing about new courses, Justin, is to keep up with them. In fact, my biggest project in 2025 is a series of projects, which is to update a lot of the courses. I'm going to be updating the SEO course first. They're going to be updating my design course, and then a few others as needed. But as far as new courses, what I'm going to actually do in the way of new is like workshop mini courses. The core curriculum is going to stay. 9 courses is plenty for me to keep up with year to year. So that's, yeah. And I'm actually going to work on making those tighter and making them more fast action. So I am creating right now Web Designer HQ, which will be in Pro, which is literally just a resource hub to everything. So if you're like, where is the contract? Boom, contract. Where is the onboarding sequences and emails? Boom. That are all in the courses, kind of scattered right now. I'm working on like a directory for that. So that's one of my big projects. But as far as new mini courses, we've been talking about newsletters and email marketing for Pro. Going to do that. Probably do a little mini workshop on doing an interview series for your clients to get clients. So that's a little mini one I'll be doing. So yeah, there's a handful of like more mini courses that could almost be its own masterclass, but I feel will be a really good addition to the core curriculum. Oh, Erica said, side note, finally decided to close my salon. It's actually still doing well, but with me not being there anymore, I don't see myself being able to scale it. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know how much I can help Erica in the salon business, but everything you do in any business as far as scaling, those same lessons can apply. So if you get a chance to go through my scaling masterclass or the scaling course, let me know, and would love to go from there. Oh, sorry, I just saw Reveal Works. You got it. Yep. Joss also would love 36 hours. James Ferns in the house. Good to see you, James, from Victoria, British Columbia. Welcome in to the old BC. Got some friends over there in BC. Awesome, guys. Hey, Seema, great to see you. Love that course. Always go back and check it. Awesome, Seema. Freebie, says Mike. Hey, Josh, Andrew here from San Antonio. Hey, Andrew, love your podcast and your other content. December is a time to wrap up current projects, conduct a year review, and chart a course for the new year. Jan is go time. January is go time. Andrew, well said. I couldn't agree more. It is a great time. I hope you guys all do take some time to reflect. Who doesn't say that this time of year? But man, is it worthwhile looking back at what worked, looking back at what didn't. For those of you who have some really good years, I would encourage you to look at what worked and just keep doing that. Double down on what's working. It's the fastest way to, quote unquote, move the needle forward. So I think for you guys to be this way, right? So double down on that, and whatever's not working, reduce it or get it off your plate, ideally. Justin said, just found the other hidden product, website maintenance plan, sales page. Yeah, that is kind of a little layout that I have. I don't really, the layouts and like little mini products I have right now at joshhall.co are kind of hidden just because I use those sparingly. I don't really sell those as main products. My goal is to, get everyone in the courses in pro first because it's all there, but trying to really make 2025, because I have so much content out there, make it a year of refining and like making it more searchable to get more fast action results for everybody. So that's one of my big goals. Nicely done, Derek. AMA American Music Awards. That's true. AMA does mean that too. Awesome, Jared. Hey, Sarah. Sarah's in the house. Sarah Hawk says, yes, thank you for these. Need this. Starting to take my web design serious in 2025. Awesome, Sarah. Well, if you need another freebie, I do have a guide to help you getting started with building your business. So I will put that in the chat here too. I don't know where you're at with your business, Sarah, but if anyone's curious, you can go to joshhall.co/start, and there is a 10-step action plan to help you get your business going. Awesome. Chantel says, downloaded and bought. Got some big goals this year. Sweet, Chantel. Well, pumped to help you with getting clients. And really excited I'll follow up with you too. Everyone who purchases the guide to getting clients, again, I marked it down to $27 for you guys for Christmas as a little gift. If you want it, no pressure. But if you want my guide to getting clients, which is a whole module from my business course, got some tips that I'm really excited to help you out, Chantel. I'll follow up with you because I may even send an additional gift for those who purchase that. Alexia, speaking of the business course, says, is my absolute favorite course. Thank you, Alexia. Well, Alexia, we're going to have to add your launch plan in the course. I mean, it's in Web Designer Pro, but Alexia has a launch plan for designers. Hey, let's pull that up real quick because, so first off, if you guys didn't know, let me show you this real quick, and then we'll take some more questions. And by we, I mean I. Alexia was on the podcast recently. For those who don't listen, perhaps, because we're on YouTube, Web Design Business Podcast, closing in on episode 357, 58, 59, 360. So wild. Before we know it, I'm going to get to the question I was hoping to avoid for years, which is what happens when I get to episode 404, because all my podcast links go joshhall.co/404 or whatever the number is. So I'm going to have to decide. I have to do an episode about 404 redirects when we get to 404. So that will be what I do. But anywho, Alexia, let me go ahead and share this for you guys real quick. Alexia was on the podcast back in episode 350. I highly, highly recommend you guys check this out. if you have yet to check out her episode. 350, we talked about how to launch your web design business. So for those who have not launched a business yet, or if you want to launch a product, definitely check this out. And let's go here, Alexia, because she has a launch plan that you can actually get for free as well. The reason I'm happy to mention this on this live YouTube chat here is because this launch plan is something that we feature now in Web Designer Pro. So I highly recommend it for you too. That is in the chat. If you guys want to go pick up Alexia's launch plan, she literally launched her web design business, guys, this summer and got 3 clients in 2 weeks based off of this. So it's completely free too. So highly recommend checking that out along with the episode that we did on the podcast too. All right, back to some question time right after I take a drink and after these messages from my water cup. Hey, Sean, good to see you. Sean, a longtime member of Pro. Had to take a break for a little bit, but that's all good, Sean. Good to see you here. One reason I'm doing some more YouTube AMAs too is to keep track of everybody who may not be in Pro, but want to keep in touch with you and hope to see you back when you're ready. Josh wants to know, once you began moving forward with a potential rebrand, or once you began, I think, moving forward with a potential rebrand to Web Designer Pro from Josh Hall brand to more of a general entrepreneur, what are some things you would want to do inside or outside of web design? Great question, Josh. So yeah, for those who haven't heard, just this week I launched the latest episode is a consult call with my good friend Michelle Bourbonniere, who is my personal SEO guru. And it was just almost a venting session and asking about the implications of SEO with moving stuff over to webdesignerpro.com now, because it's kind of the main thing. So yeah, I'm basically long-term is to make joshhall.co a little more entrepreneurial. I have no rush to talk about much outside of web design for a long time, but I am getting more and more questions about community building. And as many of you have talked with me about, especially members of Pro, one common area of discussion is members who are web designers have clients who want a membership website or who want to do courses and want to do training. And I've had so many members rave about the experience of Pro using Circle that I'm getting so many questions about community building and how I structure it, what their schedule looks like, what are the tools and tech and automations look like. So I think the first thing outside of web design I would talk about would be community building, Josh. It's just because that's what I do day in and day out now. I've really learned so much headfirst about memberships and community and reducing churn and retention and balancing the big 3 C's: courses, community, and coaching. Coaching is tough because coaching is time intensive. Community is often tough because it takes a lot to build community. It takes even more to retain community. And courses, information, I think, is the easiest to get out there, but structuring it right and making a path to get results is the tricky part. So for all those reasons and more, I could talk about community building 24/7. I just absolutely love. And as a lot of you guys know, like I love teaching on what I'm doing right then and right there. Now I'm still designing websites. I design webdesignerpro.com. I'm designing the next phase of webdesignerpro.com. I'm creating a new example site, which is kind of like the model home of what I'm seeing work really well for Web Designer Pros. So I'm making almost like a model home version of that, which is going to be like a model Web Designer Pro site, which will in turn be the new child theme for the business course. So I'm excited about that. So don't worry, I'm doing plenty of web design myself, and I will be dishing out some Divi 5 resources once it officially drops. I'm still waiting for it to go live before doing that. But man, I love talking about memberships and community building as well. Justin wants to know, what is the last course you were a student on? What courses might you take? Every day is a school day, right? Well, I hated school, Justin, so I'm not going to say every day is a school day because I really dreaded academia and I just hated school. But man, did I love art class, and man, did I love recess. And the couple times I was able to be entrepreneurial in school, I loved. So every day is a learning day. I'll say that much. I love learning days. I love education. I just don't love school. But the last course I took, speaking of community, is actually on community. I took Jay Klaus's Build a Beloved membership course. Still going through it. Actually, I kind of dipped into the lessons that were most impactful for where I was at. That was the last thing I joined. I joined Jay Klaus's The Lab, which is a great community for creators. He's a local friend of mine. I've seen Jay do some incredible things with his business, and I wanted to support him and both join his community and go through his course. So I've already taken some inspiration from what I've learned with Jay Klaus and The Lab to Web Designer Pro to reduce retention and just make it even better, some of which is going to be implemented in Q1. So, hey, James, Josh, is there another way to get the checklist? The order form stops me at the zip code. You shouldn't be getting the zip code, James. I'm sorry about that. I tell you what, James, go to joshhall.co/contact and send me, go message me there, contact me there, and I'll make sure you get the checklist. Yeah, I didn't realize it's showing you the zip code. It shouldn't be on that product, so I might need to look at my checkout settings. But if you keep on having issues, James, contact me, joshhall.co/contact, and I'll get right back with you and make sure you get your checklist. I'll just send it to you. So hit me with that and I'll zip it on over. John Weaver in the house. We'll get caught up on some questions. Good to see you. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. Valerie, good to see you from Dallas, Texas, currently learning WordPress and light CSS. Good. Don't need to go wild on CSS unless you want to. Thanks for the freebies. Background in school, librarianship, and classroom teaching. Awesome. Well, Valerie, I hope that starting guide helps you as well. Again, go to joshhall.co/start to pick up my guide to help you get started. It's actually a 10-step action plan. So, because that has some more resources for what to learn quickly as possible. So I hope that helps you. But yeah, congrats on getting into WordPress. And yeah, I recommend knowing the basics of CSS, but unless you really want to go farther into it. I mean, I'm technically an intermediate user of CSS and I have a course on it. So, I mean, you can go really far into coding, but I found for everyone, you need to ask yourself, do I want to be more of a designer / or developer, or do you want to be a business owner? If you really want to be a business owner or an entrepreneur right out of the gate, then you can go as far as you want to on design and development and then start to hire that out to be the business owner. But there's no shame in the game of being a designer and developer, freelancer for a while before eventually getting into more owning your business. That was the path that I took, which was freelancer to solopreneur to owner to now full-blown entrepreneur. And I just have so much I want to do. I just can't stop. Question, what would you tell a prospect who owns a few local auto repair shops and tells you that he knows of no case studies about the effectiveness of SEO? How do you talk to them about SEO? Well, the easiest way for that is to say, well, let's search something. Like, show him. Ask him who his best competitors are. Like, who are the top people in his area? And then search it on local SEO. And there you go. The result, like the proof is in the pudding with SEO. I mean, it depends. With like auto repair shops, it may just depend on the exact terms. You could do some keyword research both with paid tools or free. You could just literally just Google and use the different variations of Google AI overviews, related searches, what other people searched for. All those things are a way to do free keyword research just on Google, on Chrome. And I would just look at that and be like, well, it might depend on what SEO marketing plans other repair shops are using along with their website, along with lead generators. I know I was in a networking group with an auto repair guy who I did his website. And then he was also in a marketing, like digital marketing business coaching program that was just for auto shops. And they were doing really advanced like text marketing and all forms of that along with what we were doing with the website and some SEO. So as far as the effectiveness of SEO, it's just kind of proof. Like proof is in the pudding. What is coming up top in the area, whatever they're doing is working. So for you, depending on what you offer with SEO, I would show him, well, first off, it's actually a good point he makes. If he goes to your website and there is no proof, there is no case studies, then that's priority number one for you. Get some case studies if SEO is one of the main things you're selling. Because if you can show results, then that's all you need to get things started. By the way, I live by that same approach. If somebody comes to me and they're like, I don't know if you can actually help me build my web design business, I'm not sold. I'm like, well, here are actual students. Here are actual members of my community. Here are actual results. A lot of them are actually sharing their numbers. A lot of them on the podcast sharing their stories. So that's all they need to know. Proof is in the pudding, as it were. Hey, Dan, good to see you. So I hope that helps out, by the way. Yeah, get some case studies going for you. No problem, Dan. We missed you yesterday at the Christmas party for Pro. I did post the replay though, so I hope you get to check that out. It was a blast. I know, look, we had, I think like 25 or 26 people all together. So that's a lot for one call. So maybe we'll have to do 2 next year. Alexia, awesome. Yeah, your launch plan is still getting so many good results and feedback, Alexia. So thank you for putting that together. For those who want to go back to the chat and download Alexia's launch plan that we have as a feature on Web Designer Pro now. Awesome, Sarah. Branding photo shoot in 2 weeks. Killer. Things are starting. Woohoo! Listen to that episode with Alexia yesterday. Awesome, Sarah. Well, I hope you join us on Web Designer Pro whenever the time is right for you. I'd love to be able to help you further when you're ready, both starting the business and building that thing. So as the kids say these days, let's go. Any suggestions for SEO contracts? Joseph wants to know. Important terms, things to watch out for, etc. So I am not an SEO, especially ongoing SEO expert, Joseph. So I will preface by saying, yes, I do have an SEO course, but it is in the context of web design. It is SEO for web designers. It's kind of a fundamental course. So essentially what I teach as far as what to include is on-site SEO. Now, contracts is an interesting term because I'm guessing what you're getting to is like, what are the deliverables in an SEO plan and potentially what are the guaranteed results? I'm just guessing, but that's what I would wonder if this were me. So with that in mind, a couple of different things. There's the most important thing to know is there's a difference between on-site SEO, which is what you would do during a website build, versus ongoing SEO, which is what you would do ongoing, whether it's backlinking, whether it's content, whether it's new pages, whether it's additional work, those are ongoing. So I would really clarify what you're doing on site, potentially one time, and then ongoing, because your contract may include the deliverables of a web design project. Those who haven't been through my course, what I recommend doing that worked really well for me is to sell SEO Boost. SEO Boost, you could do one plan. I always did $4.99. Clients loved it. Like I was shocked about how many clients loved that term boost. They were like, ooh, I want an SEO Boost. $4.99 was really affordable. We did 5 keywords. We optimized the homepage and then usually 3 to 4 other about page or service pages. Clients loved it. All we did was basic keyword research and just optimize what was on there. And that was it. Page title, metadata, good to go. Now, you could do an SEO Boost plan, which is one time for like $1,000, and that may be up to 10 pages, for example, but that's one time. Ongoing SEO, totally different ballgame, because you could get into Google page management for businesses. You could get into local SEO. You could get into more global SEO, which includes like long tail keyword strategies and stuff like that. So as far as what contracts to include, I would have one in your for your web design projects for an SEO Boost plan. Basic on-site SEO, and then ongoing SEO, which is going to be very different and it's going to morph to whatever you do, Joseph, for ongoing SEO. But that may just be more of a growth plan that you offer. That would be like, these are the things we could do month to month in a growth plan, which is your SEO contract, essentially. Awesome. Justin, what question do you have for people watching right now that are not Web Designer Pro members? What can they tell you that will help you help them? Great question, Justin. I'll throw that to everybody here. Yeah. I guess the questions that are coming in are actually really helpful for me. So I think that actually answers it, Justin. These additional questions live, like Joseph's question about contracts, Sarah's question, some of the other ones that have come in, those are good prompters. So yeah, what you guys are asking me right now is really helpful because, side note, when you do Q&As, you get content. I know exactly what the top big questions are. If I haven't addressed it, I can go make a lead generator. I could go do a podcast. Might end up being a new workshop or something in Pro. So good call, Justin. What we're doing right here is super helpful for me. Hey, Freya, good to see you. Pro member who, man, it's good to see you, Freya. It's been a little while since we've chatted, but good to see you. Would love your advice on how to better manage when clients take ages to get content over. Throws off my whole calendar, like working on one project at a time. Yeah, so Freya, first things first, I would go back through the business course. There's a module on collecting content that has the top tips on creating deadlines. The big thing I've learned with content is it's kind of, I guess it's a quote unquote framework that I came up with, which is to empower. And well, you want to start off with educate and empathize or set expectations, and then empower. So you want to educate folks on how to, like what to use, how to send content, what content to use, set expectations, which are all about deadlines, and then empower, like guide them through with those deadlines, guide them through that process. So the big thing for you, Freya, with that in mind is deadlines. After deadlines is, well, what's next? You have to answer the question, what happens when they miss a deadline? When they miss a deadline, penalties. Late charges, whatever that looks like for you, all those things can work. A penalty for missing a deadline. And again, this totally depends on the situation. If you're working with an awesome client and they just didn't get stuff over to you, but they do it the next week, all good. If they had a personal situation, if they had a health crisis or something, you use your I know, Freya, you have a heartfelt business, so, trust your gut on that. But if it is a serious issue that is not only hurting you and your other clients, but also hurting them because they're not getting stuff going, then there's got to be a penalty. It could be a late fee. It could be their project is now moved to the back of the project list, and now you can't get to it for a month or two, but they still owe the project, final invoice at the deadline of the project. So a few different late fee and penalty ideas that you can employ. The other thing you can do is if somebody goes past 6 months, speaking of contracts, in my web design business course, I have a contract module in there. One thing I have in the contract that I'd recommend everyone add to your web design contract today, if you don't have it in there, is what happens after 6 months. If you've started a project and it's been 6 months and they haven't paid you, you have full right and ownership to drop their project completely, but still potentially either not collect the 50% depending on how far along you are, or you can take the full amount and they would need to get a new quote. So for example, if they've paid 50%, but they just haven't sent you anything after 6 months, the contract protects you to say, listen, it's been freaking 6 months. You're so far past deadlines. We cannot operate our business like this. And we need, if you want to move forward, it's going to take a whole new project. So it's in the contract. So a couple ideas there, Freya, but hit me up in Pro. We can chat on some additional ones if you need some more. Josh wants to know, give us the deets on Divi 5 release date. I wish I had deets, Josh. I don't know anything. They're very tight to the chest on that. Yes, Justin, I was a Pat Flynn student. I'm still in the SPI community. I have access to their courses. I went through their email marketing course is really good. Their Power Up podcasting course is the thing that helped me build my podcast and launch it out of the gate sustainably. So yeah, big fan of Pat Flynn and everything that they're doing at SPI. So highly recommend SPI and Pat Flynn and Matt Gartland, was formerly their CEO. Awesome. Chantel, looking to upgrade my offboarding process. Really want an amazing experience for clients. Any recommendations? Have an idea, but I want to see what's out there. 2 things, Chantel, that I would do in your offboarding process. Number 1 is a moving forward page. And it's basically just a guide of what to do after somebody is done working with you. You don't want to just say, okay, here's your new website. See you later. Thanks for your final payment. That is the perfect time to keep them going. And if you can help them grow their business by sharing off a new website, awesome. So a moving forward page could have some tips on what to do with their website. It could have marketing tips. Additionally, the second part of that is I recommend sending them a launch pack. Now, a launch pack could be very, very different depending on how far you want to go with it. A launch pack in the simple form could be as little as a mock-up of their website and just some text that you would send them to help them promote on social media in their email. But you could go further with a launch pack. You could create different versions of graphics for their site. You could almost give them a social media content plan or email marketing plan for like a month that promotes them and promotes their new site. Cool thing about that is not only will your client just freaking love you even more because now you're helping them promote and get them business, but when they send their website out in their launch pack, which by the way, this is all my business course under my moving forward tips and offboarding tips. But when you send them a launch pack, they are promoting out to all their social media, all their network, potentially their email list, video if they're on YouTube. And guess how many eyes suddenly see site designed by you, Chantel. So that is an immediate way to get so many more clients, or at least get exposed to so many more people. You didn't even have to market. You didn't do anything yourself to promote yourself. All you did was promote your client. And if you help them, most of them will gladly say, Chantel, my web designer was freaking awesome. And guess what? When somebody says, oh my gosh, Lisa, who did your new site? They tag you. Chantel did it. Incredible. And again, anyone who doesn't ask them directly, they'll look at their new site. And if they're like, this is awesome, who did their site? Oh, at the bottom, what do we put in the footer? Site designed by you. That's how you get leads and new clients without hustling and selling, my friends. Easy as that. That worked for me like a charm. Now, I always did just a moving forward page, but this idea of an official launch pack came to me in a divine web design dream. No, it came to me on my podcast because I interviewed Kayla Walters, who was a founding member of Pro, who did these launch packs. And I was like, tell me about that. Tell me about this launch pack. This is gold. And another guest on the podcast, we talked about that as well. She had something similar. So those two episodes really made me realize, like, even better, in addition to a moving forward page, is an actual launch pack of graphics, of resources. Side note, you can put that in your web design package as an upsell. Could be an add-on. Somebody could purchase it. That's how you make $5,000 to $10,000 website packages. Bam, launch packs in with everything else. What a beautiful world we live in. Valerie, looking forward to joining Web Designer Pro soon. Awesome, Valerie. Pumped to see you in whatever tier works for you. We have 3 tiers now, one for courses, one for the courses and community, and coaching for those who want direct coaching with me. Loving all the new things. Have been listening to your podcast for months. Thank you, Valerie. I really appreciate that insight and feedback, and pumped to serve you more in Pro. James, Josh, I'm new to your channel. Do you have affiliate recommendations for building and designing affiliate marketing websites? I don't, James. I think affiliate marketing is interesting. I think it's in a different time now. Because I don't really know, like, I don't follow websites or brands and use their affiliate marketing as much. I follow people, and the people who use something and trust a tool they use or like something, that's what I'm going to feel more comfortable. How the hell is it already 12:48? Wow. Time is flying. Great questions, guys. Sorry for my profanity. I'm just shocked at how fast this time's going. So yeah, I prefer to follow people with affiliate marketing. So for you, James, I would have that same idea in mind of, like, you, even as a web designer, you're an entrepreneur. What tools do you use? Those are the things that clients and potential colleagues and partners may find value in. But I don't know of, like, affiliate marketing websites. I just know of entrepreneurs and owners and designers who use affiliate marketing as an additional revenue source, which is semi-passive income. Hey, Justin, can you see yourself adding more course tutors and weekly live stream hosts to upscale Web Designer Pro, maybe to share your workload in Open Pro up to a greater number of members? So interesting you asked that, Justin. I am actually not going to add more in the way, because if you do too much in a community, it's just like, oh my God, there's like 30 calls this month. I can't do all that. But as many of you know, especially members of Pro, we have a few folks in there who are building kind of sub brands for themselves. Case in point, Sam Sarsden, who is kind of our local SEO guru. He now has a membership called Local SEO Academy. I'm going to shamelessly put the link in there in the chat here because I only go so far into SEO, specifically local SEO. So the natural best step is a member of Pro who is killing it. Guys, Sam literally took his business to 6 figures in 1 year with local SEO being the main thing. It was web design and local SEO. And he learned so much in a year instead of me learning all that. And I don't have as much interest in local SEO personally. Right now I have plenty of other things going on. So I asked him, like, dude, when we talked about his own series, like set of courses, I basically asked him, like, would you like to be kind of the next best step for me to be able to introduce folks to you who want to go deeper into local SEO? So that's kind of where it's heading right now, Justin, for 2025, is folks who have areas of expertise, like go to them for the deeper stuff. I have my area of expertise with building your web design business, knowing what you need to know to be a well-rounded web designer, and building recurring revenue and scaling. That's plenty enough for me to keep up with on top of courses, community coaching, doing the podcast, doing the newsletter, doing the YouTube channel. So I'm good as far as what I need to keep up with. But if somebody wants to go deeper into local SEO, got a resource for you. Somebody wants to go further into email marketing. April Ray is working on a course, I think, last I heard. You want to go further into like getting email help yourself? I have Amber, my trusted guru for email. So who's in Pro? That's kind of where things are headed, is building up a series of mentors who can help folks who want to go further into those areas. So with all that in mind, I am going to shout out and recommend that you check out Sam's Local SEO Academy for those who do want to go further into local SEO. Yes, speaking of affiliate marketing, how timely. This is an affiliate link. But if you would like to check this out, I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Sam is a member of Web Designer Pro. And yeah, and actually what the link I put in the chat is going to send you to a page that has a discount for members of Pro. So highly recommend that you give that a go if you want to learn local SEO. All right, we're rhyming. That means we're getting ready to do some final questions. Gosh, it's been a fast hour. Joseph in with another good question, and then we'll do some final call for questions. Any tips on how to convince clients to use custom photography and video rather than stock or AI generated? Yeah, I would just, my rule of thumb for any advice like that is however you would talk to them at like a coffee shop meeting or something, have that same approach on a sales call or in a discovery call or in a content collection phase, and just be like, listen, people buy from people, and we're really averse to the AI stuff now. Even more so, I think we're very hesitant and watchful about AI generated stuff. I don't know about you guys, but that's how I feel. So I would just let them know real photos, even if they're not the best quality, real photos go so much further. When I worked with Terrier Steel, which is a local steel company here in Columbus, it was a little easier because they had before and after photos. And I actually went in when I did photography on the side and got shots of them in their warehouse and stuff. And that was an easy one to like prove. But if it's more information-based or vague, it can be really easy to go the stock route or the AI route. But anytime you can get real photography done, it definitely converts higher. So I would let them know if you want better conversions, personal real photography is the way to go. Lynn says, I work in trucking and plan to sell productized web packages. Awesome, Lynn. Most businesses in this niche come from cold outreach. How can I clearly communicate the ROI of a website not used for lead generation? So yeah, it depends on what the product is, Lynn. If it's for the trucking industry, I would look at who are your buyers. So think about them and what their online presence, like what it would do for them as far as what's the goal? Like, what are they selling? Well, I worked with a company called Sylvan Trucking, which actually had 3 companies under it. And one thing I learned by doing that is they were really more interested in just having a professional presence online, which then in turn got them in the door with more people because so many trucking websites had terrible websites and no online presence. So just by way of having some professional websites, that was a biggie. In fact, one thing we did with Sylvan, I think it's still live. Let's look at this real quick. Yeah, so one thing we did with Sylvan is, if you guys want to go, you can go to sylvantrucking.com. They actually they had two main goals. They wanted to get customers. We had two main call to actions. We had customers and drivers. The other one was drivers. They needed more drivers. They had a bad churn rate. So we actually had a whole situation here for drivers with a driver application. And then we had a big story. So speaking of perfect timing to the professional photography and video, we actually had my local videographer, who's my lead referral partner. I actually gave him a lead, and he did a video on this guy here who did he shared his story about being a driver for Sylvan Trucking and how helpful it was for him. And I think his wife had gone through cancer, and they were really they were really helpful with him. So yeah, I would find out what the main goal is, whether it's a customer or whether it's potentially like a driver or something like that. And then that's your call to action for the website. That's how the website will help them. Hey, Russ, good to see you. Spotify listener here. Good to see you, Russ. Enjoying the podcast. Thank you. Heard you talk about focusing on 3 primary services for web design clients. If you had to start over knowing what you know now, what would the 3 be? So, Russ, I'm not sure if you've heard this. I just did an episode recently about what I would do if I was starting out today. So I'd highly recommend going back through that. What episode number was that? Let me look back real quick. Dun, 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 dun. If somebody knows, it'd help me out. 347. So episode 347, if you haven't heard it, Russ or anyone else, go back to that. That explains this in more detail where I won't have too much time here. But my recommendation is to have a model of build, support, grow. This is in the business course, which is really fleshed out in more detail. But in short, website design in any way, e-commerce, redesigns, small, big, package, subscription, one-off, whatever, web design is in your growth. Support, website care plans, hosting and maintenance for WordPress, and then some sort of growth plan, which is going to be recurring revenue. Growth plans are typically SEO, content, email marketing, or marketing of some sort, maybe social media. On a very, very simplistic way to start out with growth plans, you could just do strategy and consulting. You can offer clients to essentially pay you every quarter to share ideas with them, or maybe it's annually, or maybe it's monthly. And maybe you start to learn, we just looked at Sam's local SEO Academy. That's his growth plan. He does websites, and then he moved to local SEO for ongoing SEO work. Build, support, grow. That's what I highly recommend. Sandy says, just bought your guide to getting web design clients. Awesome. Going to try to see what I can use for my 2 appointments today. Yes. Way to go. Yeah, there's some sales tips in there too. So for those who don't know or didn't see, I got a freebie for you, and then we'll take some final questions here. My freebie is in the description of this video. I am giving you guys, since you're here live, my checklist for my web design process. 50 steps. I have a whole course on this, but this is at least the checklist that will give you a good idea of what to go through, and you can literally use this for all your projects. And then I have my guide to getting web design clients. This is actually a module of my business course, 6 lessons. One of them, actually 2 of them are about sales, because before you can get a clients, what do you need to do? Sell. So my first tips are my first lesson is my tips, are my tips, if I could talk correctly in English today. Kind of sales 101 for web designers, my top tips, and then strategies of sales. Tips on how to sell versus the strategy for selling are very different. So that'll get you kicked off. I would go through those like ASAP before your appointments if you can. Even if you put me on 2X and bust through those, I think that would really help you out. So yeah, my guide to getting clients, guys, I'm making available for you for $27, 6 lessons. And those who purchase today with that guide, I may or may not follow up with a special something for you. Valerie, do you have any course on accessibility? No, but we do have some guest expert trainings inside of Web Designer Pro, Valerie. I am not an accessibility expert at all. I actually continually need more help and mindset work on like how to do that. I know the basics and cover the basics, but we have a couple trainings in Pro on accessibility. In fact, if anyone doesn't know, I'll show you real quick what that looks like, and then we'll do some final questions here. Inside of Web Designer Pro, we bring in guest experts. And again, because I am not an expert in accessibility, I have partnered up with some folks who have done accessibility trainings. So this is our guest expert training library. We just talked about Sam. Alexia was on with us. I don't know, Alexia, if you're still on, but we've got a recent presentation from her. And we've got some on accessibility for web designers. Colleen Grotzer, who's an accessibility expert, she has a good one here about tips for accessibility. So she's got some freebies too if you want to check out Creative Boost. Colleen Grotzer is her name, so check that out. But yeah, I basically got additional trainings on things that I may not go to in depth in my courses here in Pro. One on security, one on speed, one on legal, one on linking for SEO. So yeah, just another benefit of Web Designer Pro when you join to get access to the trainings that we do, guest trainings. And then again, some of those folks go deeper on those if you want to. 6-month clause is a genius idea. I knew that for sure, says Freya. Awesome. Yeah, again, and I know it's easily overlooked in the business course. There's a lot there, so I need to do a better job at mentioning all that. Justin, what are your favorite paid plugins? All right, guys, we're just past an hour, so we're going to do a final call for questions. I'll go for a few final questions. Favorite paid plugins for WordPress? I would say, what are the plugins that I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely happy to pay for that? There's a couple WooCommerce plugins I have, like Redirect. Actually, I'll say my absolute favorite one has to be, what's it called? It's been so long since I purchased it. Let me look real quick. Discount Rules. If you're using WooCommerce, there's a plugin called Discount Rules, and it's awesome. And the premium version, the paid version, is very, very well worth it because you can do a lot with it. So yeah, Discount Rules for WooCommerce is one that I happily invest in every year. That's probably my top, just because it was like, as soon as I bought that, I was like, oh my gosh, there's so many great things with this. Absolutely love it. Gravity Forms is my form builder. The premium version of that is a must too, if you use Gravity Forms. Awesome. Thank you, Justin, for letting everyone know that we do. Oh, you already answered you already answered the answer that I just gave about the additional trainings. Awesome. Yeah. Josh says local SEO Academy from Sam is great. Yeah, it is. Justin's in the house. Good to see you, Justin. Yep. He's in local SEO Academy as well. So I highly recommend it. Real photos won't have 7 fingers on each hand, says Justin, going back to the AI question. Yep, absolutely. That's funny. And let's see here. Take this off. Sarthak. A couple last questions here. Sarthak, I hope I pronounced that right or close. I created a template for a niche. I have sold it to 5 people till now. Is selling the same template to say 100 people okay? Let's put it this way, Sarthak. Look at like home builders. Right now in our neighborhood, there's a whole section of condos going up. And one thing I've noticed is that every condo is exactly the same as far as it being a starting template. Now, could owners change the countertops and the carpet and the appliances? Sure, they can customize that stuff, but you know what they can't customize is the structure, which is a template. So all that to say, if home builders can sell the template of condos to thousands of people and make hundreds of thousands or hundreds of millions of dollars, then yep, you're good. Absolutely. Sell your templates over and over and over and over again, and then they can customize from there. That's the beauty about a packaged up approach. And quite frankly, what a shame if you get killer results for a client based off of one template and you don't use that again. Like, if it works, keep on doing what works. So absolutely do not feel shy or afraid to sell templates, especially if it works and especially if you can customize and tweak it from there. Awesome, Lynn. Glad that helped. All right, guys, final call for questions. I can't believe we're well past an hour. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody. Again, a couple gifts for you in the description. You can pick up my process checklist on me for free. And if you would like my guide to getting web design clients, it's an entire module for my full business course, but I've made it available for you for only $27 today. So jump on that if you would like to give yourself the gift of more web design clients. There's a sales line for you. All right. So I want to know. I also wanted to ask a justifiable recurring hosting and maintenance package. Big MRR is the goal. Currently charging $39. Should I up it to $49? Well, big MRR, I don't know what big means, Sarthak. I don't know. Let's say like 10K. Let's say 10K is a goal for your MRR. $39 a month is going to take a lot of clients to get there. $99 a month is a little more doable. But what I would do for you is I would have a support plan that is $99 a month, and then a fallback plan that's $39 or $49 a month. And then I would really think about growth plans. What can you do to help those clients grow their template site? And if you don't want to be a digital marketer or a social media person, that's fine. But what can you do to create plans that are $299 or $499? Or like Alexia just closed last week for her birthday, over $1,000 in MRR per month with a marketing package. What could you do outside of just your template websites that help them get up to that point? So big MRR is totally variable based off of what your goal is, but those numbers are really hard to get to quote unquote big MRR if we're going to use, for example, 10K as the MRR. I would try, and again, unless you're just doing it at huge scale, but then you have to factor in churn and client retention. So I would really think about those price points as a fallback, $99 as your average support. And then if it's over $200 to $300, you're looking at like small growth plan ranges. Although you could still do hosting and maintenance for $200, but that's $2,400 a year. There aren't too many businesses at any level that are going to be like $2,500 for you to update plugins. Some might, but unless you're really adding value, what I've found is that $99 is a good support range. $299 up, even $199 up, if you're going month to month, is a better range for MRR. And just remember, $200 may not sound like a lot, but that's per month. So that's $2,400 in a year. So, right? Did I do that right? Uh-oh, live math. No, why do I do this to myself? You got it. All right, guys, last couple of questions here. Alexia says pro trainings are freaking awesome. Awesome, Alexia. You've watched almost all of them. That's impressive. Yeah, man, it's like a whole nother membership, basically, that's inside of pro. Chantel, I know you have tiered membership now. Do you have any one-on-one coaching or group coaching? So the group coaching is the coaching tier. Every week, we do essentially what is a group coaching call. We do hot seats, and there's a couple different options for one-on-one. We do hot seats for members on the coaching tier, which are basically little 10 to 15, even sometimes 20-minute little coaching calls that we do live in a group. Or if you want absolute one-on-one coaching time with me, the current offer is to go annual for the coaching tier. If you would like to lock in a full year of coaching, I offer an annual one-on-one call with me as a bonus. Actually, Alexia did that recently, and we had a one-on-one call. And Alexa, you tell me, was that awesome? Because you actually really helped me too, because we came up with your growth plans. We really mapped out her growth plans in detail. I mean, is it fair to say that led to your $1,000 a month MRR? I mean, it was like 2 weeks later, right, that happened? So yeah, those are the coaching options right now, Chantel. The group coaching is on the coaching tier automatically, and then one-on-one is available in a way with just quicker coaching calls, and then a full hour coaching call one-on-one at any point in your membership if you'd like to go annual. I would love to have more time for one-on-ones, but I just don't have too much bandwidth right now with running my business and being a very present dad of three littles. Last two questions to Justin. Should designers have professional indemnity insurance? I'm not familiar with that term. In case the client sues them. Gotcha. So I guess in stateside, any business insurance could help. Yeah. You can, but as long as you have an entity, at least this is US, like my business is an S Corp. So if somebody sued me, if Alexia is like, Josh, this is terrible, I'm suing you, then she could go after my business assets, not my personal assets with an entity. But Alexia is cool. I don't think she's going to sue me. So stateside, you just need to have an entity to protect your personal assets. But then you can do insurance that I think mitigates that. But I don't know if there's a way to get out of a lawsuit either way. But I mean, guys, that's so, as a web designer, that's very, very uncommon. I literally don't know. The only person I knew who has been sued was a designer who worked for a much bigger business that got sued for an accessibility thing, but it was a huge nationwide business and they were missing alt tags on their images, which is what led to that lawsuit. But that's a huge, like they have hundreds of thousands of customers and that's what led to that. So it's very, very unlikely. Sorry, thanks, Josh. Hesitate to charge $97 for just hosting. So the thing with hosting is it's not just hosting, it's support. It's website support. So I cover this on my maintenance plan course, but in short, $99 a month or $97 covers hosting and all of things you do to update the site, month-to-month plugins, monthly reporting, and up to an hour of your time for support. But that's different than growth plans. That's how you get up to $99 a month. So it's that up to an hour a month. Clients love that. If you don't do that yet, try it out. Have two plans. Have basic hosting and support, but no extra hour a month at $49. And then have a second tier at $99 that has a little bit more a little more Sarthak every month if they need it, because all clients don't need it every month. That's how you get those numbers up and to the right. So try 2 tiers for now if you want to give it a go. That way you have nothing to lose. Hey, I have a $99 plan. If you want it, awesome. If not, our fallback is $49. You can at least have hosting and basic support. Gotcha. Justin says, one client insisted on seeing your insurance certificate. She's a lawyer. Well, there you go. I'm her white label designer for building sites for a lawyer. Yeah, so she would probably know better than I do. I would consult with her. Yeah. All right, guys. Wow, that was a super fast hour plus. I hope you enjoyed this last AMA of 2024. We'll do more of these come 2025. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year. Some fun podcast episodes coming up. So make sure you're subscribed to the Web Design Business Podcast. As I mentioned, head over to the description. I am giving you as a gift for being here my web design process checklist, completely free on me, my 50-step checklist available for you today. Go pick that up. And then if you would like my guide to getting web design clients, it's normally $97. I've made that available for $27 for you today. So no coupon code, just jump in and enjoy having access to my top sales tips, tips for getting clients. And I may or may not follow up with everyone who purchases that today with a separate gift. So I hope to see you there. Awesome, guys. Great, great questions. Thank you for joining. Any final thoughts or takeaways, drop them in the chat, and we will say our final farewell for 2024 here. Unless you're a member of Web Designer Pro, in which case, I'll see you later today. But good to see you, Jason. Thanks for showing up. Sarthak, great questions. Justin, appreciate your insight. James, really good chatting with you today too. Jeremy, as always, great to see you. All right, guys. Chantel, great questions. Alexia, really appreciate your insight. Lynn, great questions today. Seema, really good to see you as well. Awesome, awesome questions. Joseph had some really good questions. Congrats, Sarah, on getting stuff going. Good to see Josh and Freya. Man, great questions, guys. John, great to see you as well. Jared, as always, guys. All right. Can't wait to start 2025. I know you're excited too. So I'll see you over in, get my web design process checklist for free. Get my guide to web design clients if you want to nab that up. And I hope to see you in Web Designer Pro if you're ready to go pro. All right, guys. Cheers and Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. And since we're at it, Happy New Year, which means here comes the dad pun. I'll see you next year. This is the longest. There we go. Ecamm just did an update, which is where I streamed this from. And I couldn't find the end broadcast button. There it is. There's our most awkward ending of the year. What a way to cap off 2024. Bye, everybody. Merry Christmas.